Hey, it's Kevin here with Minuteman Theory, episode 7 podcast. We're podcasting here at the podcast zone.
Podcast zone.
Yeah, and this is Kevin's first time on the podcast, right?
Yeah, except for a closed session at Camp Kilo.
Yeah, which is like a extra episode.
Yeah, extra episode.
Okay. Well, and I'm Brad, and
I'm Ian.
Today we are talking about radioactive shrimp, backpack guns, and the end of the world as we know it, kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of see where the world takes us, or where the conversation takes us.
The end of the NFA.
Maybe we'll talk about body armor too, since we've been doing a lot of videos on that recently.
Yeah, I got some interesting comments on that too.
Yeah. There was a comment earlier today. Did you see that?
Yeah,
guy?
I did.
Okay. Maybe we talk about that.
Yeah, we did. So basically, where I want to kind of go with this is I want to set you guys up with an example, right? So let's say that you are in a sketchy situation, right? Like let's say that end of the world as we know it, right? Like let's say that you are in the local city and the power goes out, okay? And there's no way to get out of where you are. The only way that you could do it is by foot. The experiment that I have is that how would you get your firearms out safely, or how would you keep yourself armed with something more than just a pistol, without making it known to everybody, right? Because if we're talking, let's go even a step further and say martial law. Let's say that there's martial law. How would you keep things quiet, keep things under wraps as far as what you're carrying and things like that? I know, Kevin, we already had this conversation, but my big thing is I want everything to kind of blend in, right? I don't want, like we talked about, the most effective thing that you can do with a firearm or valuable items in your vehicle is to cover them up, right?
Yeah. So I think what you described is two different situations. If it's the end of the world, I don't know that it matters too much if you're concealing a firearm.
Right.
If it's the end of the world and you have to walk from one place to another, and you're worried about wild animals of the four-legged and two-legged variety,
right,
I think slinging a rifle on your back or across your chest is not really an issue.
So,
but in the situation where you're talking about martial law, that is an issue, because if you have a military force that's policing the people, and maybe there's curfews, and maybe at that point they are restricting the carrying of firearms.
Yes. So, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but War of the Worlds, the remake of War of the Worlds. There's a remake.
Not the brand new one with Ice Cube.
No.
There's a brand new one with Ice Cube?
And it is possibly the worst movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Okay, no, hold on. The second worst.
The one with, was it Tom Cruise?
Keanu Reeves?
No.
Oh, no, Tom Cruise. Yeah,
Cruise.
Keanu Reeves was The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
I don't know
I haven't actually seen it.
Oh, you haven't actually seen it? Well, there's this really actually good scene in it that's, it's actually a pretty powerful scene, where they're driving in a car, and they're going through these masses, and things are so disrupted that, there's not even martial law. It's just people trying to get away from the battlefield where these aliens in the military are duking it out. And Tom Cruise is in a vehicle at the time. Well, he gets held at gunpoint. Somebody takes the vehicle from him, and then they turn around, and somebody else has a gun in the crowd and shoots the guy in the vehicle and takes it. So it's this whole kind of... so basically blending in with the crowd, basically. That's kind of where I'm going with this whole thing.
Okay.
You see?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, and that makes sense. So I guess in that sort of situation, having some sort of way to conceal a firearm that's larger... Well, okay, first off, having a handgun that you can conceal is better than nothing.
Yes.
Having something that you can shoulder concealed is probably better than a handgun.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't. What's your solution, Kevin?
I have a hot take of when the world goes to shit, I will have already been there. I live off grid. I poop in a bucket.
All right.
I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, we have all the amenities that everybody needs. We have shower, we have water, we have all the stuff that we need, but we're off grid. We don't. When the power goes out, we don't even know.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
So, like, when the whole road goes to shit, we'll already be there.
Okay. Let me float you a hypothetical situation that is so out there you probably don't even have to think about it, but I just want to know. So
Go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say, what if you're in your off-grid place or whatever. Let's say you've invited some people that you care about that live in town to come stay with you, and one of them needs some sort of life-saving medication that you've just run out of, and so you have to go into town
Okay.
to find this medication.
Sure. I probably have a massive stockpile of it. Or Jennifer has a massive stockpile in her apothecary. You know what I mean? She has all the natural stuff to stop bleeding. You know, yarrow is a great one. Stops bleeding. She could go on and on about all the natural stuff.
Sure.
You know, there's all sorts of.
I think where he was headed with that
But
is
yeah, if
that
I have to go into town,
Yeah. Yeah, if you absolutely have to,
dude,
for whatever
I'm
reason.
packing my AR and my sidearm. Like.
Yeah, but are you just open carrying that rifle? Or you're trying to conceal it, especially if there's
It's got a good rattle can job. No, I mean, so honestly, it depends on the situation. If it's like end of the world scenario, depending on what it is, you know, like, am I rolling in the family Subi, or am I rolling in on a dirt bike? You know, like, because I can take the back roads all the way into town too, or
Yeah.
you know, mountain hop on the dirt bike.
I would, as far as the vehicle, I would think that it would depend on your mission.
Yeah.
If you're coming into town to,
If I'm coming into town to like try to find some supplies or something like that, which I just can't see myself doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that had to happen, I would probably do it on the dirt bike, and I would be taking back roads.
well, unless, here's another hypothetical that even in your off-grid amazingness you might have to do. What if you blow a tire on the family Subaru and you need another tire? And the
That's
only
fair.
place to get and the spare's blown.
Oh, and the spares blown. There's
so
two blown tires.
You have to go into town
Roadblock.
to find some tires.
Sure. There's a lot of Subarus in Montana. I have a jack stand.
Okay. So, I guess what I was going to say is you probably couldn't carry a couple tires on your motorcycle very
Probably
effectively.
not.
But
Yeah.
if the tires on the Subaru are toast,
Right.
you can't take that into town either.
Yeah.
So here's another.
So if I was on my way into town on said mission, I would abort the mission.
Okay.
In all honesty, depending on how far away I was from town
So
or whatever. Or,
here's
you know,
even another. You know,
these are all crazy hypotheticals.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Stuff that is way out there probably would never happen.
But here's something that isn't hypothetical.
Sure.
Let's say that you keep some firearms in your car. Okay. Just for you keep fire, and all of a sudden your car dies and you have to bring it to the mechanic. Do you want to be pulling rifles and guns out of the vehicle in the middle of town
Right.
while you drop it off at the mechanic
Yeah,
shop?
while everybody's like.
While everybody's looking, now.
So like today, I don't have a long rifle in my car right now at all. I only have my pistol, right? Like,
Yeah.
normally I would have my shotgun in there or something. I just didn't.
Right.
Right. Because I knew we were coming here and doing this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I try to be prepared and for whatever situation it is that I'm going on. And like we were talking about, like most of the time when I come to town, it's because I'm either working or I'm on duty. Like I try not to come to town.
Right.
I will say, though, in that specific situation here where we live, I don't think anybody would care if you started pulling guns out of your car.
That's not
No.
the problem. The problem is, like we talked about, hypothetically, if I were to keep a firearm in my car, I wouldn't want people to match license plate to vehicle.
That's fair.
To car to me and be like, oh, what? So
That is
where
kinda
kind of I'm going with this is I
being
not that I keep
conspicuous.
not that I keep firearms in my car, but if I did, they make different cases that look like either banjos or guitars or stuff. That was kind of my whole thought process behind this. It's like, okay, it doesn't have to be some end of the world situation. It could literally be something that we deal with every single day.
Right.
You know, how do we keep our secrets secret?
Yeah. No, that is an interesting.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the, you
Same.
know.
Well, it's not on the level that you're thinking of. So, what's your solution? Can you share your solution with us?
I can. My solution is if I were to carry a firearm in my car, I would have a shorter, let's say an AR pistol, hypothetically, and I would just have a random backpack that I would throw it in. And it would be something that does not look military at all in the slightest. It would just be like a regular, like I'm talking like a JanSport from Walmart. I don't need some military tactical backpack.
Yeah,
like that just,
that
that just screams like
screams,
it's, yes.
yeah.
Yes. So hypothetically, it would just be some off-the-shelf thing from Walmart.
You know, and speaking of bags, my daily backpack that I keep my laptop in and other things that I carry, like in the car, it's a Dakine backpack. It's like a skateboard backpack that's very just normal backpacking looking.
Right.
My field bag, however, that I keep other things in for like going to the gun range,
Yes.
or going out to Camp Kilo or whatever, that's more of a tactical backpack just because it's a little more functional for that
Yes.
kind of
No. And there is a time and a place for everything. There's a
Yeah.
time and a place for a tactical backpack. I know.
This is a super interesting conversation to me because I always carry my jump bag.
Yeah.
So I'm always,
Yes.
and I have everything in here to where if I have to respond to a call that I can't, right? But what I don't think about is like people might see this and think that I have drugs in it.
Yeah.
That I'm
Right.
a paramedic and
Yes.
I might have drugs. in
Right.
it,
Right.
Like, and that should be in the back of my head too, you know, thinking about, you know, because I do have some drugs in it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But that's
I
kind
mean,
of
no, I don't have any drugs in it.
that's kind of where I was going with it. You know what I mean? Like a backpack gun. You know, as far as it's a thought experiment. It's like okay, we don't even have to talk about the end of the world. I can literally talk about taking my car to the mechanic, and you know.
Yeah. No. And I think that's an interesting situation that I've never thought of.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do have my kind of tactical backpack too, and I
Right.
have my
And
mountaineering backpack, and
There are
yeah.
backpacks for every occasion. Trust me.
Oh,
you know
man,
what I mean?
we could do a whole video on
we
backpacks.
could literally do a whole video on
Because
backpacks.
I have 3 backpacks that I use somewhat regularly, and then I have a 4th that's just kind of spare that I used to use, but
Yeah.
not as much anymore.
And I'm not gonna lie, you know, when I got out of the military, I was like, oh yeah, desert camo. You know, like I was. And now I'm like, no. We're staying away from anything, even
Inconspicuous, right?
Like it's funny because I just watched a video, and unfortunately I can't give the YouTuber credit, but the video that he made was fantastic. It was just short. It was like, listen, if there is martial law, and if there is everything goes to shit, you don't want anybody to know what you have. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to be in that food line. You're gonna want to walk around with your head down. You're gonna want to walk around and blend in like everybody else.
You don't want to be as far away from all of that.
Well, and that's
That, but if you can,
right.
yes,
Right.
right. Like, you know, I'm talking about our viewers in cities, which I'm sure. Hey, listen, if you're from the city, I'd love to. You know, I'm thankful that you guys are watching this. You know, like that doesn't just apply to us rural folks. It's you know,
And if you live in a city, especially a big city like Seattle, Chicago, Detroit, New York, join the conversation down in the comments. Put down your thoughts on this because, like, we live in a really small place out in the mountains. Our perspective and our perspective is from that point of view.
Right.
I've never lived in a big city before.
I have a story.
Okay.
I have a great story.
Sure.
So
Also, you got any more?
yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are gonna love the story. No, hold on. March of 2019. 2019? No, 2020. March of 2020. I remember I heard about COVID on a podcast. It was underground. It was underground. What is it? Ground Zero podcast, and this it's a supernatural.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "There's this virus in China, blah 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 blah." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of weird." So I ended up, I was working with the local police department at the time, and I ended up at the hospital a couple of days later dealing with DUI, whatever the case was. And I remember talking with the doctor. What's that?
Was everybody wearing masks?
No, they weren't. This was prior to everything going to shit.
2019?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah,
it was prior to everything going to shit. Like, I'm talking a month and a half before everything went to shit. So I'm talking with the doctor. I'm like, hey, what's this COVID? What's this virus? They're like, don't worry about it. So I remember the night that I got an email from my boss saying, hey, we are no longer going to be doing traffic stops. We are no longer going to be doing this. We're no longer going to be doing that because of COVID. I'm like, this is weird. So, again, we're going to go back. We're going to get back to the rural part of this here in just a second. So I remember I was on a domestic with another cop, and we were dealing with that. And I get a radio call from dispatch. I'm like, go ahead. And dispatch, and I quote, asked, somebody wants you to give them a call because they heard that Libby was shut down. They heard that Montana was shut down, that nobody can come into Libby, nobody can get out of Montana. They want a phone call. I'm like, that is a really, really weird thing, but okay. So I give this guy a call, and he goes, I heard there's roadblocks between here and Idaho, and you cops are kicking people out and this and that. I said, sir, I don't know what. There's 6 of us. There's literally 6 of us. No, we're not. Yeah. We don't have the ability. And so
not only that, but that'd be unconstitutional.
I seem to remember a militia group on the border that was keeping people out.
They're to the really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm saying, as far as like martial law in your local police department, at least in this area, dude, there's anywhere between 1 and 2 of us on at a time. Like, I mean, it's just not, it's just one of those things where it's like rural is different,
Definitely. I mean, where I was living when all that happened, I was living in Washington State, working in Oregon.
Right.
And everything was locked down there. And you'd like walk into a place.
That's insane.
And if you weren't wearing a mask, they'd be like, you need to get out, or we're going to call the cops, that sort of thing.
I remember I remember I was still doing stuff.
I remember.
Some businesses were cool about it. They didn't care. Other ones were like super.
So
it's so funny.
When COVID first hit, I was kind of just starting my career in EMS, and I started at the CHC at the door. I was doing temperatures, taking temperatures, asking people if they had any newer, different cough, shortness of breath, sore throat, fever, nausea, diarrhea, loss of taste or smell. Like,
everything good, Brad?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just adjusting exposure.
Okay.
And here people did not like that at all. I got stuff thrown at me. I got cussed at. I mean, there were plenty of times that we had to call a law to come and get people under control.
I remember that.
People did not.
I remember that.
And they're like, it's unconstitutional. I'm like, bro, you're in a private building. Like, it's not. They can pretty much mandate what they want.
Yep.
There's a healthcare facility. It's a private entity, but sure.
Well, I mean, especially at a healthcare facility, though.
So yeah, that when COVID hit, that's what I was doing. I was doing that on top of running on the ambulance, and the whole way everything was handled was just shit.
Is that gonna get us demonetized? Can we talk about COVID?
We can now.
Okay.
You used to not be able to.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I'm.
Yeah.
So
there's I don't want to say there's a little PTSD there, but I remember lines being around the CHC going all the way to Louisiana.
Wow.
People
really
coming to get swabbed.
I remember that too.
Wow.
Because everybody had to get swabbed and get cleared to go back to work.
Yes, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Dude, I'm telling you. And
yes.
Nobody wanted to do it, but everybody had to do it. I mean, and I'm out there, February of 2020, swabbing people in the freezing cold.
What? Was it February? Are you sure it wasn't like
2020?
March? Okay.
I remember that's when it started kicking off.
So like November of 19 is when it really kind of started going crazy. And I remember, February 2020 is when stuff really kind of started to pop off.
So,
and dude, like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was swabbing 100 to 120 people a day. Easy.
So, I mean, let's get back to, think about COVID in the cities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's, and as far as like bugging out or getting out, that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like that was kind of where I went with this whole backpack gun process thing. Right. You know what I mean? Like
we had it easy.
COVID was, oh God, yeah.
And it was still effing crazy.
It was, that was the second craziest time of my life.
Yeah.
That was the second craziest time of my life.
There was
and being in EMS and healthcare, like things kept changing.
I will admit that I love you guys so much because when we call you and they'd be like, yeah, they're COVID positive, and they'd be like, oh, we have to quit, and you'd look at me and be like, yeah, we're not doing that. I'm like, yes, all right, let's do it. Like,
there was a certain period of time where I was afraid that my employer was going to terminate me because I wasn't going to get the vaccination.
That is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and thankfully, there was enough people that were pushing back that
I know nostalgia.
It didn't go through. There were still some things I remember.
So that's just it, though. I don't think that enough people pushed back.
I agree with you.
So
yeah.
Something like that, it's
maybe
I don't want to go too deep in the weeds here, but
maybe nationally that's true. I think so. I used to work for a very, very large company,
of which you shall not be named.
Yeah, that basically runs the world.
Blackstone.
No, but pretty close.
Raytheon?
No, still close. We managed their data.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's something we have. I want to know. I got questions.
Okay. I don't know how much of it I'll be able to answer because it's not quite as cool as it sounds.
Oh no, I know exactly. Anyway.
What's going on here? But anyway, I was a manager over several engineers, and we had all this stuff coming down of you have to be masked or blah blah blah. There was a certain point where they said if you have the vaccine, you can show HR your vaccine card.
Ooh.
And they'll confirm that it's legit.
HIPAA what?
Yeah, right.
HIPAA what?
However, I don't know that it's an issue if you willingly give up that information.
That's true.
Okay.
So anyway, if you show us your vaccine card and it checks out, then you get a little sticker on your ID badge, and if you have this, I know, right? And if you have the sticker on your ID badge, you don't have to wear a mask. So they started doing that. It was kind of when things started winding down, and I had an employee come to me.
That is more of a HIPAA thing.
Yeah.
Because now everybody knows.
Oh, that's
something with your employer is different. You're voluntary giving your vaccination information, like that's a lot of things with schools, with employees.
Yeah.
But having everybody know now,
that's fair. I had an employee come to me, one of my direct reports, and we were having a one-on-one meeting, and he was like, "Hey man, I don't know how you feel about all this," he said, "but I feel really uncomfortable with all these people who have gotten vaccinated, who are not wearing a mask." He's like, "I'm not going to get vaccinated." He said, "but I don't want people to treat me different because I still have to wear a mask."
And they did.
They did.
Well, and so I told him, I said, "Well, are you afraid that if you don't wear a mask, you're going to get COVID?" And he said, "No, I'm not afraid of that at all." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll let you know that I'm not getting vaccinated either. And I've just..."
Wait, you're not vaccinated?
No, not for COVID.
That's a joke. I'm also not vaccinated.
I am. I had to.
Oh, really? For your job?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Legit. They straight up said that if you're not vaccinated, that you will not be able to work here.
I have a question. Do you regret it?
Dude, so I think that it changed. Dude, I've been sick. I've had COVID, and anybody that knows me knows this. I've had COVID more than anybody. Dude, and I got all the vaccines. I've had COVID like 7 times.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will say I did get COVID once, and I will say it was not fun. At least not the strain I got. But anyway, so I told this employee, I said, well, I'm not getting vaccinated either. And I said, I've just stopped wearing a mask and nobody has said anything. I was like, if you feel comfortable with it, you can stop wearing a mask. And I said, and I will back you up. If you get caught and you get in trouble, I said, I will tell them that I told you you could.
Wow.
And he did. He stopped wearing a mask. Nobody said anything.
Good.
So,
God,
and then it wasn't too long after that to where they just lifted the
Dude,
mask requirement.
Crazy.
Altogether. So,
Dude,
people were just losing their shit over it.
I had neighbors calling in and reporting to me. This is, God is my witness that I took this phone call. My neighbors are having Thanksgiving dinner. There's more than 10 of them, and they are not social distancing.
wow.
And luckily, my chief happened to be in the area, and he fielded that call because I took a deep breath, and he must have heard it from his office because he's like, put it on Park 1. Okay. So I put it on Park 1, and he's like, ma'am, I'm sorry, that's, we don't enforce that. That's not something that we deal with. That's, if you have questions or concerns, I don't know where you go, but this is not the spot.
Health department.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know where you go, but this is not the spot. He said, yep, I'm sorry you feel that way, ma'am. You have a good day, he said. And I said, I'm glad you took that, because the next words out of my mouth was, we are not the Gestapo. And then I would have, continued.
Yeah.
Dude,
It was
but in a lot of
wild,
places,
man.
That's how it went.
was wild.
And
Even here,
they were
man.
telling people basically, narc on your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I cannot believe, and it brought out the worst. in
Did
everybody. Like, it straight up just.
There were actual
and
physical fights, man, because some would wear a mask and some wouldn't. It was
it's not like we're talking about Ebola. We're talking about a virus that's been around forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
right.
It was a political. I'm not going down this fucking road, man. Like, because I don't get.
Wow, this is not at all. But here we are. It's this is actually pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I lost a really good friend over all that. He was one of my best friends, and then he went off to college, and I think people that he hung out with over there, whatever,
College
influenced
fucking brainwashed him.
Yeah, and then when he it was either right as he was graduating or right after he graduated is when the whole COVID thing happened. I think it was right after, because he had moved back to town. COVID happened, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, I heard you back in town. Let's hang out." And the first question was, "Are you vaccinated?"
The fuck.
And I said, and I told him, I said, "No." And he's like, well, like, I don't know if that's safe. And I was like, well, are you vaccinated? And he's like, yeah. I said, well, if you're vaccinated, like, what are you afraid of?
Right.
If it's effective,
Oh, don't say those words.
then you shouldn't. Then you won't contract it from me if it's 100% effective. And he's like, well, it is effective. He said, but I don't know if I can hang out with you just because, like, you're not supporting this. I was like, what are you talking? I was like, hey, man, like, I really want to see you. I care about you. I said, I'll stay 6 feet away from you, and I'll even wear a mask. And he was like, nope, no, I don't want to. And then,
Dude, it just furthers this divide.
Yes, yes.
So I don't get into politics, but that's what they want, man.
Yeah.
Like they want the left and the right to be at each other's throats.
You know why?
They want just this political.
You know
divide.
why?
It's all about control.
Yeah, because as soon as we realize, I'm gonna say it. As soon as we realize who the real fucking bad people are, that's it. Mm-hmm. And they just want to keep us fighting amongst ourselves, man. That's all this is.
That's
They
exactly.
did a damn good job of it.
They did, and
Sure
they're
do.
still doing a damn
And
good
people
job.
fucking fell in line.
Yes, but they are still. It's still a thing that's happening, and they
absolutely.
want us
Left,
focused
right,
on this, so that they
Epstein
can
files and
they can be making their way out of the bank with the fucking sacks marked with dollar signs on them, man.
Yep.
I don't care what side it is.
I could go so deep into this. But I prefer
Well,
not.
that's like, okay, my buddy who super sketched out about COVID or whatever.
Dude,
We eventually did hang out after everything kind of settled. It was actually right before we moved here. I was like, dude, I'm about ready to have a kid. We're about ready to move out of the state. So this is probably the last chance we're going to get to hang out before, like, we don't see each other for a long time. Said, if you, like, I would love to hang out with you, but if you don't want to, I totally understand. And he finally was like, he's like, yeah, I feel comfortable enough that we can hang out. And we had a good time.
Yeah.
Like, we went to a brewery, we had some beers, went to the skate park and hung out.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Even though
I
we
let it
disagreed
change.
on a
Yeah.
lot of
What
stuff.
was it Ice-T said in Colors? Black or left or right, it doesn't matter. They're all colors of the same bird. Like,
Yeah.
It's all the same stage, man.
Yeah.
Dude, so my mom is immunocompromised.
Ooh, okay.
And so she has autoimmune diseases. And whenever everything was happening, she was like, should I get this vaccine? I was like, no. She's not vaccinated. Neither is my dad. But, and she ended up getting COVID and put her in the hospital. And at that time, the hospital was just ventilating people and putting them on a ventilator and shipping them out. You know,
Wow.
To where?
To Kalispell, to Bach,
Okay.
yeah, wherever they could, because they were getting over inundated.
Wait, is that because I heard is that true that the hospital was actually getting over inundated?
Yes,
So that is legit.
it's legit.
Okay. Because
Dude,
one
so
of the rumors that I heard
I
is that
took
that's
the
that's
very
BS.
the first COVID positive patient in Lincoln County. I ran him, and he died.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that was one of the rumors that I had heard. It's like, oh, the hospitals aren't overrun. Like,
So the hospital called me after I ran him, and was like, "Hey, he was COVID positive." And we had to go through all of this. We had to that rig was out of service for 48 hours. Like, had to park it
Jesus.
outside with all the doors and everything open. Like,
Jesus.
it was an ordeal. And then we all had to. So I wasn't allowed. Hey, baby, come see me. Yes, oh, I love you too. Come here.
Internet tough guy over
Oh,
here.
yes, I know. Oh, I love you too. Oh, my dog.
I remember
Doggies don't see this.
being in line. I remember being in line in Walmart, and we all had to get our temperature taken, and I lost my shit. I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I am not a cow. I am not standing in line for that. I looked at my wife. I said, no, I am out of here. I don't give a shit what it is. I'm not doing this. I will not stand in line for my own slaughter.
I got tracked down at the Walmart in La Grande, Oregon. We went in there to get something, and I walked in, and there's some guy making minimum wage handing out masks,
Yes, right.
and I. Oh,
Need
man,
new brakes, bud.
That's fine. It's just metal on metal.
we walked in, and the guy is like holding out a mask or whatever, and Leanna took one, but I didn't, and just walked by, and he goes, sir, and I was like, what's up? And he says, you need a mask. I was like, oh, no thank you. And just kept walking.
Yeah.
And I had to pee really bad, and so I beelined it to the bathroom.
Right.
And I went in the bathroom, I did my business, and I walked out, and there was this chick standing there with a mask waiting for me. And she's like, you need this. And I was like, oh, no, thank you. She's like, no, you need this. And I was like, okay. So I took the mask, put it on for 2 seconds, and as soon as we went around the corner, I took it off.
Yes.
But it was, yeah.
Good Lord, man.
But anyway, as far as the hospital, so in Washington, I had some friends that worked at the hospital, and what had happened there is a lot of people quit because there were all these rumors saying that you need to get vaccinated, otherwise you're going to lose your job. And so a bunch of people just were like, well, then I'm not going to work here anymore, and they quit. And so it was kind of a double, it was like the hospitals were at capacity, but not in the way that you think.
Okay.
So the hospitals had a bunch of empty rooms, but it's because they didn't have enough staff to have them completely full.
Right.
So the hospital here has one hyperbaric chamber that is a positive pressure room, and it was full all the time. And my mother was in that room.
That's what. See, I didn't know that. And I'm not. That was one of the things. It's like, oh, hospitals are overrun. I looked at our hospital, I'm like, it ain't overrun, but apparently it was. So
Well, they were doing their best to keep up, for sure,
mm-hmm.
and they were intubating patients that were in respiratory distress and shipping them out.
were they conscious or unconscious?
Well, they were conscious before they were intubated.
Right.
But and then I heard story after story about these people that were on a vent that were dying, and
Really?
and the cause of death was COVID every single time. They were, like,
Come here. You want loves?
And I remember, so I knew the doc on duty. I won't say his name. I respect this guy a lot, and I called him, and when my mom was in there, and I said, please
Oh my god. Oh
do
my god.
not put my mother on a ventilator. Whatever you do, whatever you do, please do not put her on a ventilator.
He likes you women.
And he said, he was like, I will, I'll do what I can. And she didn't go on a ventilator. Antivirals were a thing at that time. I can't remember which one it was. It was maybe it was like molnupiravir or something. I don't remember. It wasn't Paxlovid yet, but she ended up she pulled through, was able to get, she went home on oxygen, but she's still here. She just got COVID again.
Oh.
They're literally just getting over COVID
Really?
right now.
Okay.
That sucks.
Yeah, but like this time around was not nearly as bad
Yeah, because here's
because they.
shocking science. I know.
It's crazy how
I know
the
it's
body
weird.
works,
Yeah,
right?
how
Like,
eventually, it
you get an
becomes like
immunity to a virus that's
weird.
been around forever.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I will say,
So-
like I said, I got it once, and
Yeah,
it
twice.
was brutal.
Yeah, I've
so-
had it so many times, and I've had to test a lot.
So I have had it twice. The first time was an absolute joke. The second time I was like, whoa, okay, there's something here. Like, I mean, I had 104 fever, and
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay. This
Yeah.
is,
That was the same. I had like 104 fever,
Yeah.
and my body ached all over,
Yes.
and I couldn't sleep.
All right, so here, I won't say his name, but I got the shot at the same time as the medical director did, and I happened to be on duty, and we spent that afternoon, that evening at the barn, and both of us were just like miserable after that vaccine, just miserable. The worst headache I've ever had in my life, and I get migraines all the time, and I mean, I'm talking like we were both just like crying together, like that. The side effects from that vaccine were fucking brutal.
So Kevin, let me ask you, since you've gotten the shot, are you magnetic?
I don't stick to anything.
Did you guys see
Alarms
that going
don't go
around?
off after.
well, my favorite one was, one of my favorites was, it's just Bluetooth nanotechnology. I said, okay, that's
Have you
cool.
seen that one?
Hold on, stop. Hold on, it gets better.
Okay.
I said,
okay.
okay. I said, that's interesting. That's a take on it. He goes, yeah, in fact, I can tell who's been vaccinated on my phone. I'm
Yeah.
going to pull up this app, and I'm going to tell you who's been vaccinated. I said, oh, okay, that's cool. So I turned my Bluetooth on. Like, I was like, hey, I got to go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I turned my Bluetooth on just to see.
Yeah.
And he's like, checks his app. He looks at us. He goes, no, there's no Bluetooth connectivity in here. I'm like,
I gotcha.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
That was a thing. I remember that. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like somebody that knows nothing
that's
about
another thing.
vaccines and nothing about technology.
So first of all, the vaccine's not a vaccine. It's
Yep.
mRNA technology. It's like
Right.
CRISPR, right? And you can.
well, no, hold
comment
on.
however
I
you
thought
want
the
about
Johnson
that, but-
Johnson one was like a traditional vaccine. It was
No.
like a neutered version of the virus.
No, they didn't take any part of the. It's a.
You
it's
can't.
mRNA.
You cannot vaccinate against a corona. It's
Oh,
a
you
virus.
can't?
It's a virus.
I could
No,
go.
I thought that's what a vaccine
No,
is for.
No.
So you have different types of vaccines, right? So like you have live attenuated vaccines, you have live like polio, right? The polio virus is inactivated polio virus, right?
Right.
Which I could go down that whole fucking rabbit hole too, but there's a long rabbit
So,
hole about viruses.
You
and
can't.
How you isolate
It's the
them.
same reason you can't get
Look
a
that up.
vaccine for the common cold. It's the exact same thing.
I thought it was because the common cold mutated so much. Because you can get a flu vaccine, and that's a virus, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So-
I might be wrong,
and
but yeah.
with the flu vaccine, they try to predict what the virus is going to do during that season, right?
Yes.
For that vaccine.
It's going to be A vaccine for
A,
A flu,
B.
but then it's always B that you get.
Right.
You know?
And, well, there's also there's a lot that goes into that too. Just like
But I didn't realize that you could vaccinate against viruses.
I thought vaccines were for
Okay.
viruses.
For viruses.
Antibiotics are for
Well,
bacteria.
Yes,
so
okay.
now we talk about pneumococcal, right? And different bacterial stuff that you could vaccinate against too.
Oh.
So, man, I could go down this rabbit hole about how they isolate viruses and bacteria, and it's quite the rabbit hole. You can look it up yourself. But
Okay.
but anyways, so you have different types of viruses. You have where they actually take parts of the virus and they kind of
Like smallpox.
right,
Yes.
smallpox.
They like neuter it, right?
Right. They basically neuter it, and then they introduce it to your system to where it can recognize it.
Right,
And it
but
causes an
but it
immune
won't
response.
replicate, right?
Right. It won't replicate.
Right.
It's inert.
Okay.
And then you have live vaccines, right? So like TB would be one.
What about rabies?
Rabies.
Okay.
Rabies. Oh my God.
It's back.
That's
back.
real bad.
It's back.
Yeah,
It's here.
hydrophobia.
Somebody that I know very closely sent me a picture of a badger.
I'm
that they
aware,
shot.
and that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
It's straight back.
Yeah.
It's back.
Mhm.
Yeah. So be careful.
Have you seen that video of the Russian guy with rabies?
No.
Where he's like trying to drink a glass of water and he can't?
hydrophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like one of the late stages,
It is,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is once you get to that point, you know you're dead.
You're dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
And he
that's
tried
So,
with
so you
vodka?
want to know one of my biggest fears?
It's not water.
So one of my absolute biggest fears is, COVID, that whole situation. But what if there was an actual mutated virus, something like Ebola?
Now,
that was
Ebola's no joke,
dude,
man.
yeah.
No
isn't
joke.
isn't it like a 50% mortality
No,
rate?
it's a 90,
It's like
90 to 95% mortality.
You're fucking dead, bro,
Whoa.
and you bleed to death, right? Like
Out of every
eyes
one of
and-
your orifices.
Yeah.
absolutely terrible. So say something like that was to mutate with something like rabies, maybe, or something even as simple as COVID or the flu, something that was super easily transmissible, right? And doesn't die very easily. That's the thing about Ebola. It's very, very transmissible. Like it's
Yes, incredibly, yes.
incredibly,
Yes.
but it doesn't live outside of the body very long.
Nope.
So that's why it's kind of under control, right? Like
Yes, because once you realize, and I, as much as I hate to say it, the last time we had an Ebola outbreak here in the United States, they did a really good job of it.
yeah,
They
yeah,
did a really good job.
It was like
Yeah.
one person and that was it, or
two or three.
There
And
there was a few.
they
There's
tracked
been a
it.
few
They
cases
tracked
recently,
everybody
too, but-
down, and they
Yeah.
were like, okay, and I'm like, okay,
This is where it comes from.
Okay.
Well, that's the other thing that you could compare that reaction and response to the COVID reaction and
Yes,
response.
right.
And you can see how, at least the way it looks to me, is that was more of a controlling thing rather
Dude,
than a
so
let's actually
you're trying
try
to control something that's not controllable. Like
Yes.
it's like,
No,
that's
no,
like-
Yes.
no. I meant COVID. That response was trying to control people and see how
Right.
far you could push them.
100%.
Yes,
Yeah.
we failed, ladies and
Failed
gentlemen.
miserably.
We failed
As a race, as a species, yeah. We
as a country, as freedom-loving
Yeah.
American. We failed.
100%. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ian. Tell us about the radioactive shrimp.
I have theories. Okay.
Pum.
I have theories. So, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know how, all you got to do is turn on your phone, look at the news. There is a batch of great value radioactive shrimp that are being sold at Walmart. Now they did a recall, and they've since either taken them back or whatever. So this is super interesting, and I say that for a couple of different reasons. The particular radiation that those shrimp are contaminated with, cesium, is indicative of one of two things: either a complete reactor meltdown.
It's fission.
Yes, it's exactly.
Nuclear
It's
fission,
it's a nuclear fission, right? Fission. It's not just oh, it's not. No, this is fission. This means that you need to put couple of different things together for it to work.
Only way.
So, what's concerning to me is two things. There was a lot of cesium in the Ukrainian reactor in Chernobyl. That was a huge thing. They talked about cesium quite a bit. You know, if you pass the documentary on HBO, if you actually look at the kind of the findings and all this stuff, cesium was a big deal. I'm kind of a nuclear arms and reactor nerd. That's kind of where I, if I'm bored, I'll do some, I'll watch some videos, some documentaries, stuff like that. But that's the concerning part, is that it's not just X-rays or gamma rays. It's actually a product of either nuclear bombs or nuclear reactors.
So that's what I was going to say. Do you think it's waste material that contaminate, or do you think it's from a fissile bomb?
So, the official report is that the official report...
It's the opposite of that, whatever.
No, it's not. The official report is that in Indonesia, where these shrimp originally came from,
right,
there was an accident where the cesium leaked out of a sterilization device.
Sure.
That is the official reading, is that's what happened. The safety protocol, whatever the case may be, some nuclear material leaked out of this sterilization thing and got on the shrimp. I could literally go into the weeds as far as radiation.
Radiation is, radioactive fallout, cesium, these things are heavy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing about cesium. Cesium isn't just something that, it's not an alpha or a beta particle where you could just, brush it off and you'll be okay. Like with alpha, if it's just, you could just blow it off and it won't. Beta, if you wear clothes. We're talking, this is some heavy stuff. Now, the crazy thing about cesium is that your body uses it as a replication for sodium.
Yeah,
sodium,
read that.
yes.
Yeah.
So basically what will happen is your body will say, okay, I'm going to use this as sodium, and it's actually going to put it in your bones. So the concerning thing is now we're looking at leukemia, we're looking at bone cancer, we're looking at marrow disappearing, we're looking at all these kind of crazy things.
Thyroid.
Yes, because your body is like, oh, this is salt, when in reality it's a super radioactive element that you're now ingesting, and your body places it somewhere. It doesn't just...
And it doesn't go bye-bye.
It doesn't. And that's the problem, is that it stays in your system. Now, from my reading and my research, what they're saying is that you'd have to eat, a bunch of these shrimp, right? And I saw one study that said, if you want the same amount of radioactive waste as Chernobyl put off, you need to bury Texas in 6 feet of the shrimp in order to get the same amount of cesium that was released.
That's a lot of shrimp.
That is a lot, but my concern is that it doesn't matter, because I don't want any cesium shrimp in me at all.
Right.
Even the littlest bit.
How about we talk about mercury in shrimp and
we
fish?
could go to that,
but that's naturally occurring.
Well, is it?
Well,
right?
So here is my concern, and my concern is that there may or may not, and again, this is just my concern, this is just my conspiracy theory here, so don't take this to the bank. My concern is that there was a nuclear bomb that was detonated in the ocean, and we're not hearing about it.
There has to have been.
I have a different theory.
Okay.
But
my concern is that it would have had to have been a lower grade nuclear bomb. So that kind of only puts two or three places in my mind.
North Korea.
North Korea. I mean,
North Korea is close enough to Indonesia that would make sense.
And if you look at the currents, it's also plausible. It is plausible. Yes. That's all I'm saying.
I know we were talking earlier and you were saying Russia, but then after looking at the map and the currents,
why?
It seems very unlikely that it would be
Russia has plenty of places to test nukes.
I say that because of the 8 point whatever...
The earthquake.
Right? That was what it was like,
that makes sense.
But where the earthquake happened and how the currents
far
run...
away, right? Yeah, it doesn't...
I would doubt that. Unless the Indonesians are... fishing way up in Siberia.
And again, for the viewers, I'm taking a leap here. I am 100% taking a leap.
But So in water, cesium, right? It doesn't float to the surface.
No, it's
it
heavy,
doesn't
yes.
hang out, right?
That's shrimp or bottom
I
feeders.
was going to say
Right.
shrimp
So-
or bottom feeders.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
So here's my theory, and hear me out, okay? The Indonesian government. Okay, so you hear all the time about Russia, North Korea, China.
who's heard of Indonesia?
Indonesia, their government is pretty quiet as far as military and stuff. And as far as anybody knows, they don't have any nuclear bombs, right? But that gives them the perfect opportunity to take nuclear waste from other countries that have nuclear power plants and try to create mutant super shrimp to take over the world.
There it is. Gojira.
Gojira!
That's my theory.
Hey, and
Wouldn't that
like I
be
said, this is all
I would
This
eat
is-
a nuclear shrimp if it was
this
like
is-
the size of a lobster.
100% speculation and conjecture. That is all that this is. It concerns me because I remember reading about a Chinese nuclear power plant that split open, and they were like, oh, it's not bad. It's only that. And it's like, okay, I don't necessarily, and then all of a sudden it disappears from the news cycle. What I'm saying is that governments have a history of covering. We could go back to the United States. Like, let's not even
Did
get
you know
into
that the United States nuked itself?
Yes. Well, let's talk about the Tuskegee
Yeah.
experiment.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the St. Louis experiments. Let's talk about the downwind folks of Nevada. You know, of
The Manhattan
yes,
Project.
just
Yeah. Wasn't there was like a group of people downwind of the Manhattan Project, and they didn't even know what the side effects were or anything.
Let's talk about the Bikini Atoll.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, come now.
Yeah.
We straight up decimated an entire population.
yes,
Or even beyond like nuclear stuff. I mean, we can talk about all sorts of CIA stuff. Like
Yes,
MK
like-
Ultra.
letting the Russians using a nuclear pellet to kill somebody in Poland.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was an umbrella. Like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that it was the sterilization thing broke and that's the end of it. No, I kind of feel like there may very well be something else there. Again, speculation, conjecture. I have nothing to
And
base
we'll never
this on.
know. We'll
Yeah,
never
well,
know.
maybe eventually, but maybe not.
There will be a mainstream narrative.
Okay. So, you know, rad roaches.
Yes.
How they're so big.
Yes.
Would you eat a rad shrimp? Like what Kevin was saying, that used to be this big and is now this big.
I would not, because radiation is way more deadly inside your body than it is outside your body.
Hey man, you only die once.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to die of radiation poisoning. You freaking
But what if it's fallout and all your food is irradiated?
Just eat some
I'll
iodine,
eat some canned
bro.
dog food, brother. I'll wipe the radiation off and eat the canned dog food.
Iodine.
Some yum deviled eggs.
Yeah, yum deviled eggs, and yeah.
Right? Iodine
Cram.
tablets.
Iodine tablets. Okay.
But that doesn't work for ingestion.
Take
We're
your
talking
iodine
about
tablet with
whereas
your
like okay,
nuclear shrimp.
whereas with radioactive fallout,
know.
it's only going
I
you're inside. It's going 365
Right.
degrees. You know now.
Yeah, well,
Radiation fallout are actually two super interesting things.
which is why in my kit I have a gas mask and a Tyvek suit.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, we have a plan to just go to the basement.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing, and I want all of our listeners to understand this. This is going to be the takeaway from this whole radiation talk. If you find yourself exposed to fallout, use shampoo. Do not use conditioner.
Yeah,
Do not use
right,
conditioner
yeah.
because shampoo
or soap.
will clean it.
glycerin, right?
What's that?
Soap.
Yeah,
too,
so
glycerin.
soap is fine. Conditioner is not, because what
Yeah.
shampoo
Hold
and
it.
glycerin will do will wash off the dirt, which is actually the irradiated part, and conditioner will make your hairs smooth by making them close up, and all you're doing is trapping the radiation. So if you are exposed to radiation, take a shower, wash your hair, do not use conditioner.
Yeah. I remember when you told me that, I was like, oh, I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense.
And the other thing that people need to realize is that people are not irradiated. People do not get irradiated, right?
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
You're not just going to walk around and be a conduit of radiation.
Right.
It's going to be the dirt, the dust,
Yeah.
the all the other stuff that's on
And
the
it'll settle,
irradiated. Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, do you think it's worth it? Do you think that you can get enough of the radioactive material out of your hair by washing it really good, or do you think it's safer to just shave all your hair off?
I would say wash it, because you start shaving it, you're gonna have stuff up
That's
in
just
the air.
it,
You're gonna have
yeah.
more radiation.
Yeah,
in-
I didn't think
you know.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in a
wash.
nuclear incident. We are trying to minimize that.
First of all, you're already going to be, if it's on you, you're going to have some level of contaminant. But
Yes.
It's just like viral load. Like, you're going to try to minimize it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Sure.
yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, like, my plan is something like
What
that
are you
happens.
doing?
It's strip all your clothes off, put them in a trash bag.
Yep.
Take a nice shower with lots of soap,
Yes.
and then you put fresh, clean clothes
Yes.
on and barricade
Are you
yourself in the
pumping my-
basement.
That is the
Right now?
that is the best. That is the best that you can do.
We're not
You know,
that
you
bad.
can't. It's the dust, man. It's the air isn't irradiated. The water isn't
particle,
irradiated.
the
It's the
literal particle.
dust that's in there that's
and
irradiated.
it will settle.
It will. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
okay, you said earlier that people aren't irradiated, but if they consume radioactive shrimp and get the cesium in their body, then they are.
They are, but it's
they're
not,
not- it's
enough
not
for
like
them.
it's
It's not like it's going to affect
contagious.
you.
Sure,
You know what I mean? It's,
Oh,
it's
that's
not
true,
like
that's
it's
true.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like a like COVID, right? Where
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
get it, they call. No, once it's in you, that's it. You know what I mean? It's in you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, there's, like I say, iodine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To keep it out of your thyroid and all this other stuff that they do for radiation exposure on people that work near radiation all the time.
Yep.
So I mean, there's things that you can do, but yeah, absolutely getting it off is going to be the first.
Yes. Yes. And that's why in movies where people get exposed to a nuclear bomb, that's the first thing they do. They end up in a shower with dudes in scrub suits and
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, 'cause
because we
that's-
have hot zones, warm zones,
Yeah,
cold zones.
yeah.
Because in that warm zone, we're going to be watching the fuck off.
right.
An interesting video that maybe we should consider doing is what you should have in your home in case of a nuclear detonation.
I get to bring out my Geiger counter.
You have a
I have
Geiger
been,
counter?
yes,
Oh,
I
that's
do.
cool. Hell
I have
yeah.
been waiting. I have been waiting for you. I have been waiting for so long
That's gonna
for
be
somebody
good.
to be like, we should do a video about radiation. I'm gonna be like, oh,
So,
you
I
haven't
just
seen
happened-
autism yet, brother. You have not seen autism yet. Here
I
we
just
go.
happen to have a friend that lives close to here, actually, that has, some stuff that's going to throw your Geiger counter.
No shit.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yes. I'm telling. I have been. This is my moment to shine, man. Like nuclear science is something that I'm very, very, very much interested in, and I've done a lot of deep digging and I've done a lot of research into it. And yes, I have that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Kevin, I
I
wonder
don't want to
if
get into too much.
I wonder if I know who you're talking about, because I've heard that there's uranium up in these hills.
There is.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Really?
So my friend, that I won't say yet, is a miner.
Okay, I know
yeah, I know
exactly
you're
who you're
talking-
talking about.
Did he find it himself?
he has some. Yeah.
No. Did he actually?
I don't know.
Okay.
I won't
that
say
I
that,
no
but,
no. That's
um,
wild.
But yes.
Well, but naturally occurring naturally occurring uranium is radioactive, but it's not harmful.
it's
no,
not the
it's
only
not.
radioactive substance either.
No,
Right,
it's not.
right.
Bananas are radioactive.
Yes. Oh man, it'd be okay. In the video, we got to get some bananas and see if it reacts to your Geiger counter.
So,
How sensitive is it?
It will.
full disclosure, it's only sensitive to a point where you're in trouble.
Oh,
really?
okay.
So it's one of those where like if it starts to tick, you have 24 hours to get the hell out of Dodge. If it starts going,
Interesting. So
you're aft. Like it's one of those. Yeah.
he might actually have a Geiger counter that's a little more sensitive.
And they're super cheap. They are super cheap. You can
We should
we should do a video on it because I have a lot to give out.
So I have a
Let us know in the comments
Yes,
if you want
I have-
to see
I have-
Geiger counters.
I
go.
have so much information to put out. That is literally, it'll probably end up just being an hour video of me just talking because there is so much for me to
That's
put
great.
out.
I love to nerd out on that stuff too because there's a medical perspective.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
100%.
And it's something that isn't really talked about.
It
It's kind
isn't.
of almost taboo.
Well, and that's
Talk
funny
about
because okay, 25 years ago, well, 45 years ago it wasn't. 45 years ago it was like, this is what you do, this is civil defense, this is blah, 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 blah.
Desks and,
Yeah, Okay.
Yeah.
So
Have a
then
plan
let's
for
fast
your
forward.
household.
Do you realize that in 2009, in 2010, they were doing it again in New York City? It's fairly recent that they're talking about doing nuclear bomb, like civil defense sort of. They're doing infomercials. It's like, I don't understand why it's taboo when it's something that we're potentially looking at. You know,
Well, you look at the doomsday clock, however accurate that is. We are the closest we have ever been, even closer than in the Cold War.
yes. So, I'm telling you, that's a video. I think we should do that video because I'm gonna nerd out. It's
All
gonna
right.
be crazy.
I like it.
Yeah.
I just don't know because it's going to be if one country launches a nuclear strike on another, like that's going to be the end.
Well, yeah.
No, I disagree. I think it'd be the end. So let's say that
China
India and
and the
Pakistan
US.
decide to
Right. India and Pakistan.
Okay. India,
Sure.
Pakistan. I don't think that would be the end of the
No.
world.
No.
There'd be a lot of death,
Oh yeah.
or
Say-
even like
But you're going to have all these other countries that are, because India and Pakistan, they're fairly large countries, but yet they're surrounded by all these other countries
Right,
that are going
right.
to have fallout, and they're not going to stand for that. And then,
But see, no. But here's the deal. You're right. But I don't think that Fallout would necessarily dictate a targeted response.
I don't know, man.
Like
Well,
we could do sanctions, we could do this, we could do that. I don't think that Fallout would be like, oh, they
We
nuked
have-
the other country, so we're gonna. I
We have
don't
the
think.
pleasure of being on an isolated part of the globe, right?
Right.
So-
We
right.
have two giant fucking bodies of water on either side of us.
Right.
But I think
If
that's
somebody was to nuke the United States, even if it was a dirty bomb, there would be a massive response.
I don't think it would be nuclear.
well, okay. It depends.
Yes.
So if it was Russia, it would be nuclear because we have mutually assured destruction.
We don't anymore. That's not true.
Are you sure?
We no longer have the mutually assured destruction.
How about
That's
with
no
China?
longer.
So China's interesting. So like Russia and the US have about the same amount of nuclear bombs. And China
That's
has a
also not
lot
true.
less.
Russia's lying about a bunch of its nukes.
Yeah, and most of them don't fucking work.
Yeah, Russia is. We are way here, and
Yeah.
Russia's like way
Okay,
here.
okay.
Yeah,
Just
Even-
like
even-
they're trying to come out with their Gen 5 stealth. Fuck.
they're
okay.
still working on Gen 2.
Let's
Anyway.
see it.
Okay,
Anyway,
even
I'm sorry,
Even if that's true, China is building their nuclear armament, and they're way down here compared to us and allegedly Russia.
Yes.
But they are trying to match us,
Yes.
or at least that's what it seems. Now, it's interesting you say that about Russia, though. So I had a buddy that was a sonar tech
Okay.
on a submarine.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff he couldn't tell me.
Yeah.
But he said that Russian submarines were some of the most advanced, and he said that they had techniques to detect them, but they were one of the harder ones to detect. He said that Chinese subs sounded like you were kicking a trash can down the road.
Wild.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was, let's see, he was deployed.
I don't want to.
He was in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. So I think he got out in like
Could be.
2000.
Decade there,
Yeah.
like, for expansion,
2014.
So
he
here's-
got out.
but China's
Here's-
Navy is like, they can build ships way faster.
Here's
than
the
we can.
problem with Russia. There's actually a couple of different things, and this is all documented. The first thing is that the corruption is so terrible that like
Right.
they've let their nuclear stockpile go. The other thing, believe it or not, which is actually more scary than anything, and everybody can look this up, I'm not just making this up, is theft.
Theft?
Dudes are stealing pieces of nuclear bombs
Selling to
and
the
selling
cartels.
them to black market. So
We got it. Wait. Can we find these black markets?
I would. I don't want to nuke.
We would never
yeah.
want.
Okay. Now,
We can't nuke Camp Kilo, sorry.
Yeah.
now, I want to know your guys' opinion. How do you feel about legalizing
Recreational
the ownership? Yeah, recreational nukes.
Okay. So here's my thing. I am against it. I'm also against the United States having nukes.
So you're just anti-nuclear.
Anti-nuke all around.
Okay.
And I'm anti. I am
So,
anti-chemical.
If we don't have it, then somebody else will.
Yes. That's my thing.
That's fine. I'm going to take the liberal stance and say that
Oof.
it doesn't matter that I don't think that anybody should have nuclear bombs. I
Come
don't.
back to us!
I don't believe that, If you want to duke it out in hand to hand or whatever, by all means, man, you shoot it out. But nukes, like,
Now, this is one of those things where I wish nobody had nukes.
Right.
In a perfect world, I wish nobody would kill each other and there wouldn't be any nukes and there wouldn't be any violence. However, I'm all for private people owning nukes.
Bro, I think if the government has it, we should have it.
Exactly. As long, but here's the
people.
thing is, to develop a nuclear bomb is extremely expensive, and so it is cost prohibitive.
It's the same argument.
Here's the deal. No, but here's the deal. If the same people who can't get my taxes right shouldn't have the ability to create worldwide genocide and take all of us out.
I would agree with that, but
Right.
they do.
Yeah. Right.
Hi.
And this goes back to the founding fathers and the Second Amendment.
Right.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Because we the people. So if the government has it, we should have it.
And I am in agreement, but at the same time, I know, call me a screaming liberal. When I think about some of the people that I deal with at work, and I'm like, oh, if you had access to sarin gas, holy shit.
Yeah, but here's the deal: is some of the people you deal with at work, what's the likelihood that they have the intelligence and the resources to gather?
That's what's even scarier. That's the even scarier
It's
part.
there, bud.
No. But like, in order to have enough resources to build a nuclear bomb, you have to be on the level of like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk.
Not necessarily.
No, to have that much resources to build the infrastructure that's required to refine the ore, to build the bomb, because
A dirty bomb could be, scavenged. The resources for a dirty bomb could be scavenged. I'm telling you, it's doable.
yeah, I have a hard time believing that that's inexpensive though. It would at least be.
I'm not saying it's inexpensive, but it's doable.
Yeah, but and the
Cartels.
manpower that you'd have to have. So I would believe that if I heard that a cartel had a dirty bomb,
Right.
I would totally believe it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is a lot of those cartels they have a lot of manpower.
Right.
They have a
lot of money.
Exactly. Whereas
And now that they're designated as a terrorist organization type deal, like all these other terrorist organizations are going to be like, all right, let's work together.
Right. So like I would believe if I heard that the Mexican cartels had a dirty bomb or that the Taliban had a dirty bomb, I would 100% believe it. But to believe that the criminal that's in the pen right now had enough resources to build a dirty bomb.
Most people don't have that kind of intelligence. Period, but
I think that the people in the pen are probably demented enough to want to have a bomb to cause harm.
Right. But it's the same thing. So same thing with somebody with a firearm.
Yeah.
Right? Like
exactly.
Somebody that goes out and robs somebody with a firearm, you take the risk of getting shot yourself.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what I don't understand is why people are doing this, especially around here, because everybody fucking has guns.
Yeah.
So if there we come back to mutually assured destruction.
So
like, if there's a chance that
I think it's different. So if like you had like from Fallout, if you had the
mini nuke.
The mini nuke. Yeah, in the little rocket launcher thing. What's that called? Fat
Get
Boy.
your shit together.
I'm sorry, man. Get your shit together. If you had one of those, and let's say you nuked Town Pump because you were pissed off at the manager or whatever because they wouldn't give you any freaking jalapeno poppers.
Oh God!
You nuked them.
That may be a nukeable offense.
I don't
joking.
I don't think you would. Even if everybody had mini nukes, I don't think you would be in fear of somebody else mini nuking you, because the consequences are just too great.
Right.
I think somebody would just shoot you.
Yeah, but here's the. Oh God! I want to say for the record, I'm not liberal. Here's the.
Oh no.
Here's the problem with that.
Here's
right?
the great divide.
Yeah. Okay. So you decide to mini nuke Town Pump. What about Grandma and her 4 kids that were in there trying to buy iced tea for their fishing trip? Okay.
Yeah. But
so that's where it's like, okay.
But
if listen,
it should be a mutually assured deal. Like you kill somebody, then I believe that you should be killed.
well, but here's the deal, Ian. Here's the deal. Let's say you nuke town pump.
Yes.
You kill Granny Newsbomb with her grandchildren,
Yes.
just trying to get some freaking bugles.
Yes.
The police or whoever is going to respond to this. Let's say that this guy is hiding out in his house. You're not going to mini nuke his house and kill his neighbors who are innocent.
Right.
You're
That
going to
makes
go
sense.
in there and kill just him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that does.
So you're
Yes
saying
and no,
that the
but you're
fallout
but see
research-
you're also banking on the fact that humans have morals and values, and some do, but some
Well,
don't.
so I think what you're saying is more of collateral damage
Yes,
type deal.
yes, it is all it is 100% collateral.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is, if somebody nuked town pump, the appropriate response would not be to nuke them. Because there would be too much collateral damage.
No, but at the same time, you have all these other people who weren't involved with the whole jalapeno popper process
Dude, I
that are
think
just
as-
fucking
as
that are
tech-
just
Yeah, no.
So,
And I totally
as-
understand.
yeah.
And
So-
that person should be eliminated.
okay.
All I'm saying is, nuking them
So
would end up causing too much collateral,
Right.
innocent
I
damage.
think
Right.
that as technology is advancing, nuclear technology is way behind.
I agree, and as it should be. I
Yeah.
mean, as it should be. I don't believe in nukes. I think that nukes. I
Well,
think.
I'm sorry, and they exist.
I know, I know they do, and I believe that they were used for justified reasons when they were used. But right now, man,
That's a
whole nother-
hard one.
that's I disagree. I think it was a very easy choice. I think it was incredible, and in fact, never mind.
Bro,
Yeah,
do you
that's-
think Japan would ever even contemplate invading the United States?
That wasn't the problem.
No.
It
not
was
a
that
chance.
wasn't the problem.
And at the time they were
It did end the war.
But to be fair, they did invade the
And-
United States.
and-
They did. They
They did.
invaded the United
Hawaii.
States.
Yeah, they did. And how far did they get?
Aleutian Islands. They were
Right.
there.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
which was Russia's. But anyway.
but okay. Yeah, I don't know. We got way off in the weeds on
Way
this
in
one.
the weeds.
But okay. How do you? So you're completely anti-nuke.
Yes.
I understand why, and I agree with the
We don't-
sentiment. However,
in
I disagree.
today's day and age, we don't need nukes. We have bombs that are.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be
Precision.
fair, yeah. I mean,
Right,
yeah.
But we also have nukes that are very precision.
That's
as
true.
well.
Right.
Anyway, what do you
Exactly.
think about nuclear power?
I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
God. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill. That is one of those 100% nuclear power all the way.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
I say that because,
There's a 0 point there too that's been suppressed.
okay,
We can go down those weeds if you want.
well, what is it?
So the golden ratio, right? Like
Like a Fibonacci
Right.
sequence.
yeah. So there's harmonics that resonate with our atmosphere, with our earth, with our bodies, with our everything. Everything's a wave.
Right.
Doesn't the Earth resonates at like 8 hertz or something?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
I
Anyway.
don't get that nerdy into it. I just know that there is 0 point technology out there and it's been suppressed.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I am 100% behind nuclear technology or nuclear power because everybody freaks out. It's not as nasty as everybody thinks. The used rods, I mean,
It's clean.
they're pellets,
It's-
man.
yeah.
That's all they are. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, and it's a steam engine.
yes,
That's all our power has ever been.
yes.
Is steam.
I would much rather have them bury
water.
nuclear rods 5 miles down the road deep in the dirt than I would have them have a now technology has gotten better, but an old school coal plant, old school, right?
Oh yeah.
Down the street. Like, I mean, yes, things have gotten better, but I would
Well,
say that pound for pound,
But think
nuclear
about the
power is
Nuclear is
Kingston
cheaper,
ash
Yes.
cleaner.
yes,
More
and that's
efficient.
what I'm saying.
Well, and I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's kind of a new nuclear reactor.
Yes, liquid, yeah,
liquid,
they're sodium.
Yeah.
Liquid
Liquid
sodium,
sodium
yes.
reactor with thorium,
Yes,
and apparently, it's super immune to meltdowns.
yes. Well,
the way it's
they
designed.
also said that about the nuclear reactors in Chernobyl, and
Okay,
we all know
okay.
how that turned out.
Sure.
You know.
Go Jew.
Yeah. Yeah, now that place is encased in concrete.
Yes. Now, I'm like I said, man, I'm all about it. I think that nuclear power is a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fire up the augers and dig down as far as you need to go. Dump it in there. Call it good.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, look, nobody dig here for however long.
Well, but apparently with these thorium salt reactors, something about the waste, I don't remember off the top of my head if it just produces a whole lot less waste,
Okay.
or if the waste itself is not radioactive.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's something, it's like, it's totally game-changing from what I've been reading.
Interesting. But yeah, no, I will die on the mountain that nuclear power is a great thing. It is.
You know, there's only, okay, so it's my turn to sound like the liberal.
Okay.
There's two things that I agreed with the Biden administration.
Okay. Let's hear it.
The first one was nuclear power.
Yes.
He was very pro-nuclear power. And
Was
I
he?
was
I
like,
thought he was
I
anti.
thought he was anti. Yeah.
I thought he was anti.
No, well, at least he campaigned on being
he wanted
pro-nuclear
the
power. It
Green
was on his
New Deal
website.
and-
Yeah.
I think that was part of it.
maybe when he got into office, he was.
Right. Well, yeah.
The second thing was the whole Made in America thing. He kept saying, and again, I don't know how much he actually did. He kept saying like, the government is going to buy things made in America.
So here's the other thing that I agree with. I agree with green energy. I do. I think hold on. Just hear me out. I don't think the government should mandate anything, but if I had the opportunity to, let's say, buy an electric car that would take me to and from my place of work, and all I had to do was charge it at night, and that's it. It would add a little bit to my electric bill every month. Fine. I would much rather that than have to go to the gas pump every so often to do that.
Okay.
And that's.
How about if we had cars that ran on water?
I'm
Like
okay
Stanley
with that
Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am okay
He's
with
one
that
that
too.
just randomly
disappeared.
died.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, huh?
Yeah, weird.
But electric cars, that's a whole nother thing.
I actually know somebody who has a car that runs on water.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. They live in Tennessee.
Oh.
That's funny because you're the only 10 I
And
see.
it's a Jeep. Fucking cheesy.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Are you blushing over there?
But no, so seriously, they really do. They have it takes battery power, right?
Sure.
But it does. It runs on.
I'm going to sound like an
hydrolysis
idiot when I say this, though. And
HHO gas.
Please forgive me.
Hmm.
Would that make the water? Does it? It may run on water, but then you're burning the hydrogen and the oxygen. Does that use up the water completely, or does it create more?
The excess is water.
The excess is water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it literally expels
okay.
water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you use the water to make the hydrogen and the
Right.
oxygen, and
Yeah.
then it expels.
And then it expels water.
Cool.
So I built a very primitive HHO generator
Be
for
careful.
my lawnmower back when I was like 20.
Uh-huh.
And I have a video of it. I'll show you.
Yes.
The problem I kept having was the way I built it. You had to keep like adjusting valves to adjust the air fuel mixture to
Right.
keep the thing running.
So the problem that they have is that it runs off battery, and
Yeah.
for them to have the alternator recharge the battery is not very efficient. But
Yeah.
it,
And that's what I've heard, because I've heard of other people with that sort of setup in their car, and that's what I've heard is that the alternator can't keep up with the amount of
Exactly,
production
right.
that's required
Yes,
to run the
okay,
engine.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so you still have to charge up batteries.
Yes.
Right.
But,
But-
no. That being said, I am free market capitalist.
Yeah.
Electric cars.
No, now
Hey, is it? Okay. I thought he was.
oh no, they're just
I thought he was like
no.
taking
they-
it for a ride.
No, the dogs play like that.
you are not the ATF, sir.
I know. No, I wanted to make sure the little dog wasn't getting his ass beat.
Well, he probably is, but he likes it. Electric cars, I really like electric cars. The problem I have with
Kaboom.
electric cars is that they
How about all of the energy it goes into making the
That's
lithium?
I'm not saying that that's not a thing.
That's
I am
exactly
by
what I was
no
gonna say.
means.
So that's my problem is you can't call electric cars green
Okay.
because the manufacturing of the car plus the amount of coal and stuff it takes to produce the electricity.
Right.
The lifetime of an electric car produces at least the same emissions, if not more, than a gasoline vehicle.
Right.
In my opinion, it is way more green to drive a used gasoline car.
Right.
So, like, I drive a 1986 pickup truck. You drive a 90s
90s
truck.
Toyota. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 92 Ford and a 90 Dodge.
Yeah. And so, in my opinion, that is way more green because you're basically recycling than
Yes.
buying a brand new car.
And you're 100% right, and I agree with that. The other thing that I do that's actually pretty green is it's an old man in me, is every time I'm not in a room, the lights go off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we have to do that because
yes.
our batteries only support so much. But
So I'm in between on that. So that is me too, is I will turn off, and I've started to get the old man dad thing where
Yes.
it's like, who left the lights on?
My dad used to be like, lights on
Don't touch the
America.
thermostat.
Don't touch the thermostat.
And that was how I grew up, is when you leave the room, you turn off the
Yes,
lights.
Right.
yes.
But nowadays, with LED light bulbs,
oh god,
it's fairly negligible the
LEDs
power that
are
you save.
so bad for you, so bad for your eyes, so bad for your central nervous. Like they really are. So they operate
I
in
don't
a
know
hertz,
about that.
right? They
Well, yeah. A lot of them, yeah.
dude. So I get migraines,
Yeah.
and I get migraines with an aura,
Okay.
right? So sometimes the aura is worse than the migraine.
Uh-huh.
Straight up, because it just takes over my vision. Whenever I have that aura, I cannot look at a screen. And LED bulbs, it's almost like it burns. It hurts so bad.
So what about fluorescent bulbs?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was going to say, fluorescent bulbs do the same thing.
Yeah, let's have mercury in light bulbs. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah. Neon.
Yeah.
neon,
Hey, I mean, it works.
Right.
Yeah, it works
They
until
work.
they
They
explode in
illuminate,
your
right?
house. You can't be in a room for freaking 5 hours.
Dude, they straight up, it hurts my head.
Huh.
Like, and I might be one and off, but like I can't look at my phone. Whenever I'm having one of the migraine, like I can't look at my phone, I can't look at a screen, I can't look at a TV, I can't, and those kind of lights. Granted, it's like a photophobia anyways, where any light hurts, any sound hurts, but it's special because whenever like I look at my phone, like when I'm having one of a migraine attack or whatever, like it physically hurts me. I don't know what kind of tangent that can go off on, but
Right.
it
I've experienced photosensitivity before, but I don't ever remember there being any sort of differentiation between incandescent or LED
Yeah.
or fluorescent or.
yeah. So like our light bulbs that we have, they don't hurt my head at all.
Do
And
you
they're-
buy incandescent bulbs?
Yeah, they're incandescent.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can still buy them at Dollar General, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They're the lower wattage ones, those. So
Right.
they're like 40 watts instead of
Right.
60 or 100.
What's funny though is like I do have like a photosensitivity whenever I have my migraine attacks, but those bulbs don't hurt.
Interesting. Now, what about a fire? A manly fire.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Caveman TV.
Yeah. And I spend, you know how I live. Like
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time outside by a fire.
Yeah. Good. I feel like that's how God intended.
I agree, man.
I feel like I am trying to live how God intended.
Yes.
You know? And
I agree.
we've gotten away. So I'll go on that little tangent there. Like yes, I love you too. I don't want to rely on the government for anything. I don't want to rely on the supermarket for anything. Like I want to be completely 100% self-sufficient, and that is hard.
Oh yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
it's like
yeah.
it's
Sure
almost
is.
impossible. Like it really is impossible actually.
Well-
in
well-
today's society and in today's world, like I still have to go
Yeah.
buy gas. I still have to go, do things.
You know
in
what
town.
though? You know what though? If you didn't have to pay taxes
Right. So yeah. So
and you could dedicate your entire time to working your land,
yeah.
I bet you could do it.
You could, but you would still need to find there's not enough time.
Acorn!
There's not enough time. There's not enough time in the day, right? So you need to trade with other people who are kind of living the same lifestyle.
You would. So
Sure,
that's
sure.
another thing. Like,
Yeah,
you
sure.
really can't do it by yourself either. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to have a community that was of the same mindset, but because we really like, it's hard.
Oh yeah. Every time I go out there, I'm like, damn. You know.
Speaking of, you guys, before you leave, you guys want some cinnamon plum jam?
Yes,
Hell
please.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so
I made it last night.
our elderberry trees are in full bloom right now and ready, and I'm making crazy elderberry syrup.
Oh, nice.
And elderberry syrup is an awesome antiviral. I don't
Okay.
know if you know that or not, but
Oh,
I'll give you
okay.
guys some. Also, we have ghost pipe tincture.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
curious about that.
I'll give you guys some.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it does a really good job with my pains, dude. I've had multiple broken bones. I've had like all the fibromyalgia and all the things, and it helps with my pain.
How long does it last in the tincture form? Like, how long is it good for?
So, because it's alcohol.
You
right?
just put it in like vodka?
Yeah,
Or?
vodka.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, technically indefinite, but it'll lose potency after 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Allegedly, if you AI it, Google, right?
Yeah.
But what if you take the ghost pipe and you dehydrate it?
I don't know if you can. That'd be cool. I wonder if you could.
I have a dehydrator.
That's a super cool thing. Let's try it.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I just made banana chips the other day.
So I will
As an
say,
experiment.
Heck yeah.
It
How'd they
took-
turn out?
Well, they turned out great. However, the dehydrator we have doesn't have a fan, so it's really slow. It took literally
3 days?
2 full days
Yeah.
to dry them out.
I
to where
need to
they're
get a
actual
dehydrator
chips.
because I see some spaghetti recipes that are really good for dehydration, and that would be my like go-to food for getting.
Yeah.
so we were gonna get one, but the power requirements are
Yeah.
excessive.
Yeah, because it's got
Like,
a
we would
heating
literally have to
element
run a
and-
generator to
Yeah.
for that.
You know, you
entire 2
wouldn't
days.
though.
You could.
All you need to do, all you need to do is run it in the summer, and you just
Right.
need to have solar to direct. That would work.
Which, yeah, our solar works great,
Yeah,
Or-
in the summer.
I have a book.
and in the winter. Like, actually, solar works almost better in the winter because colder and flood
Right.
and everything. But
I have a book that I'll lend you that talks about how to dehydrate food in the sun
yeah,
without needing any sort of machine.
I'm sure Jennifer
But
is on that.
okay,
Yeah.
but the season's almost over for it,
Right.
and you do have to be careful about flies and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and it does take a while.
So this ghost pipe, I'll tell you about it. Like,
Yeah.
it knocks me out.
Really?
It straight up like, and it's just 2 drops on the tongue, and an hour later, and I'm ready for a nap.
Really?
And
okay.
it gives me the most vivid dreams. Like,
Wow.
I could swear that they're real dreams.
Wild.
Yeah, but when I wake up, like, my pains are gone.
Okay.
So there's that. And I'm sure with everybody it's different, but that's mine and Jennifer's experience. It does the same thing to her too.
I've heard you can just eat it straight too.
You can. I've had them. I've ate them straight, and the same. It's not the same effect.
Oh,
Really?
no?
Okay. Okay.
Actually, whenever I just eat them straight, I don't notice anything.
Okay.
Huh. It doesn't dull the pain or anything.
Not that I've noticed.
Okay, so what are Ian? Maybe you would know. What are the laws here in Montana about making your own alcohol?
If you don't sell them,
Yeah. If you don't,
you
so
can do it if you don't sell
it's not Montana law you
I've
got to
got
worry
some
about.
good
It's
stuff
it's
brewing
federal
right now.
law. So federal law is like nothing, no, 0, the end. That's it.
Like you can't even brew beer.
Well, you can brew beer, but as long as
Okay.
it's under 12, don't quote me on that, but 12%, it's not protected, or it's not considered a hard alcohol. But as soon as you hit that 12 mark, then the Fed boys get involved.
you can
Okay.
distill.
I don't think you can without a license.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Because we looked it up. Yeah, we looked it up. It says,
I have some choke cherry wine mash stuff.
"Hey man,
happening
look,
right
I
now.
don't know what you got going on. I don't care. All I'm saying is that the Fed boys say that you can't do it."
I was just about to say I have some plum wine that's brewing right now. I'll show you guys before you leave. but it's only going to reach 11.9%.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be
So-
minimal,
yeah.
right, yeah.
So we're completely
Same.
legal.
Yes.
And it takes so much of that. Like you
Yes.
would need 5 gallons of that to distill.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's
Oh, yeah.
like I said, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with suppressors. Suppressors are 100% legal in Montana. You
Yeah.
don't need anything. It's the Fed boys that'll give you the hard time for it.
Right. Well, I think what was their argument? Something about because Texas and Montana have both tried to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Idaho! Hold on.
Idaho?
I'm very, very familiar with this one. So I was working at the gun shop when this happened. So Idaho passed a bill that said, okay, so from now on, anything that's made in Idaho, as long as it doesn't leave Idaho, is now no longer. It's no longer a suppressor. It falls under. It falls under accessory. It is an Idaho only thing. We're gonna kick the feds out, and the Fed said no. And the reason is because of interstate commerce. Now, unless you go in your backyard and you dig the ore with Idaho-made tools,
right.
and okay, so let's for example say that you're going to use titanium. So you had a titanium deposit, in your backyard, whatever. So you would
that'd be cool.
You would need to only use things made in Idaho or Montana for that to work. And as soon as you go, if your car had anything that was made out, that was how they were able to do it. To say that,
So why
actually it's
couldn't you?
interstate commerce.
Yeah, that could be a thing. We have everything we need to do that here.
But everything would have had to have been verifiably made in Montana from start to finish.
Yeah.
Why not?
But yeah, that's what it was. I distinctly remember
But
that. It was interstate commerce that killed that.
I think it's so specific to where you say why not, but I think it's a whole lot more complicated than that. It's kind of like what Ian said. It's like, okay, let's say you're going to make a suppressor out of steel. You would have to mine the iron ore here
do
in
that.
Montana.
We do that here.
Sure. Okay. Then you'd have to take that and you'd have to hold on. You got to take it a step further. The shovel you used to break ground would have had to have been made in Montana with materials.
With
With materials.
yes, that was the issue.
And then the digital equipment that you use too, and all this kind of stuff.
Yes,
too,
yes.
Right.
That was that, and
microchips.
I remember that. I remember that like it was and it was like, yes, we're finally going to do it, and then the feds shot back with it.
I think Montana
yes.
and Texas have tried to do the same thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So that would have been in 2009 in Idaho. Yeah.
Gun mufflers should not apply to the NFA.
Dude, okay. Over in Europe, it's considered rude to hunt without a suppressor.
Right.
Yeah. But
How ridiculous is it that it's
how else?
super
is the king
cost
gonna gorge on the
prohibitive here.
fucking
That's just
hard
it.
working the people.
Yeah, because there's been the tax stamp. All the
Yeah.
time. Now the tax stamp is gone. Let's go down this road.
That's a road for a whole. Yeah, we could be here for hours.
It's
talking
fucking
about that.
unconstitutional.
It is. It always has been. There's been no question about
Well,
that.
I think that was the play. Is they've reduced the tax to zero, and that has been their justification the whole time for it being constitutional because it's a tax,
Right.
not a restriction. But now that there's no tax, now it's a restriction and a registry,
And
and
the
so now
registry.
it's
Right.
unconstitutional.
So you got to be registered, like blah blah blah.
Right.
Like because registering things and background checks have been really effective in stopping.
Oh, so effective.
Oh, yeah.
Most effective thing ever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it doesn't make any sense, and it's all political red tape. But
Yeah, so that's basically the long and short of the whole made in Montana or made in Idaho suppressors was that if somehow you can,
But
like
you
I
have
said,
to prove it, right?
Yes, it's got to
You
be
have
provable.
to prove
yeah.
every step.
Every single step.
Okay,
yes.
okay. I wonder, do you think that the federal government would go so far, let's say like somebody
Yes.
like me?
Yes.
Yes,
The answer is yes.
Okay, okay.
The answer is yes.
So I was going to say, what if I had an iron and copper deposit in my backyard that I was able to dig up and make steel myself, and I made all my own tools out of stuff I found in my yard?
They would find a reason.
There-
because
the answer
you have a
is yes.
laptop
I know.
that was made in China.
No.
Yes,
so-
No. I'm not going to use my laptop to do any research or anything. I'm just going to perform it with tools that I made with my bare hands, do you think that they would say you weren't born in Montana, therefore?
The answer is yes. It would be there would be
100%.
something.
Yeah.
They would figure out something. 'Cause
Hopefully there will be a day where the NFA and the ATF is not a thing anymore, but I think I'm kind of
One day.
wishful thinking here.
One day.
well, I can say that at least gun mufflers, it looks pretty promising.
It does.
It looks pretty promising. That's all I can say.
I hope the same thing happens with SBRs and SBSs,
100%.
because
It doesn't make them any more lethal.
It actually makes them less.
It makes them less lethal.
Yeah. well, and the other thing too is you're allowed to have a brace on, and you're allowed to shoulder the brace. I mean, that's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could spend hours and hours and hours talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
I
Which-
love my dog.
Yeah. Okay. Which?
Yes, none of us are contemplating suicide. None of us have any dead hookers or blow in the back of our car. None.
Yeah. Which I will say, right now, dogs. Hey, dogs. Cut it out.
I thought you said you loved them.
I do love them. I will say, you should buy a brace and build
Yes.
an AR pistol
Yes.
or an
Yes.
AK pistol
Yes.
Ew,
or
AK's
whatever, just so that you can go out and you can educate people, because that opens up an opportunity. You take somebody shooting who doesn't know very much about firearms.
Dude, I love that about the class, right? Like,
Yeah.
those people they
I
had
need to
been
do-
around.
we
and
need to do that
exposed
again.
We
We do.
But
and
I really
won't
think
do
that
it.
that had an impact.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of go back to the whole nuclear
Okay.
Thing, because I don't want people to think, oh, I am in favor of Americans owning F-16 tanks.
Just not nukes.
Just not because nukes. I'm sorry, man. That's my line. Nukes and like biological chemical agents. I'm sorry. I just don't think that.
So here's the thing.
I'm sorry.
If you
I know
have
that's.
just a little bit of knowledge and enough know-how, you can make something way worse than it.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. I'm not saying you can't, but what I'm saying is that like I kind of like the
love
fact
my
that I
dog.
can go out on my front porch, have a beer, and not inhale sarin gas just
Right.
randomly.
That's
You know, like
That's
that's kind of my deal.
How-
Now,
There's
now,
places in the world that can't say that.
and I know, but now if somebody shoots at me, I also love the ability that as an American I can fire back.
Yeah.
You know, but I just
Man, me and Scott were having this conversation about in New York. Homeowner gets raided, like people come into his
Yeah.
home, and he the only thing he has is a knife.
right.
He stabs the person, and they get away, and then they charge the guy.
Yes.
For protecting himself.
Yes.
Excuse me. Because they said that the response was not appropriate.
Right. Right.
What?
Because the guy that was invading his home had a bat. And so the knife was worse than the bat. So the guy that was defending his home ended up getting charged and prosecuted.
I mean,
How
okay.
far that went, I don't know, but
I think there is kind of a level of discretion you have to have when using force back. If somebody throws a rock through your window and flips you off, I don't know that you are justified in shooting them and killing them. But
No.
if somebody shoots at you, I think you have the right to shoot them.
Yes, but here's the deal: if somebody sarins me, do I have the right to sarin back?
I think you have the right to sarin back or shoot back.
shoot back.
See,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the deal. Because again, I'm not trying to kill my neighbors because someone sarined me.
Sure.
You know, like that's kind of my big thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
I think we can all
huge,
agree on that.
huge.
Collateral damage should always be taken into context,
Yes,
even if
yes.
you're using a firearm.
Yeah, oh,
Right,
100%.
Right?
Yes.
Know
Oh,
your
yeah.
target and what's beyond it.
Well, and that's kind of that's what my whole point was with the mini nuke example earlier.
Right,
Is that
right.
if somebody mini nukes town pump and kills a bunch of innocent people,
Right.
They deserve to be eliminated,
Right.
but not necessarily nuked because that could lead to more collateral.
But here's the other
innocent
thing: in
damage.
today's day and age, you say quote eliminated with a mini nuke. dude, they're going to have to go to jail. They're going to have their fair trial. They're going to have to do this.
Right.
They're going to have to do that. Because if you say, okay, well, the only time that an immediate death sentence works is for a mini nuke, but then it's like, okay, well we're going to do the slippery slope.
No. But okay. As a law enforcement officer, okay, if a guy goes to town pump and mini nukes it, man, this is so ridiculous. and mini nukes it, and then gets in his truck and drives back to his house, and you get the call over the radio, hey, Billy Bob Joe just mini nuked town pump, and he's back at his house at 1112
Fake Street, yeah.
Fake Street.
Yeah.
And you go, okay. You get in the armored truck, and you go down there, and you say, Billy Bob, come out with your hands up. And he says, come and get me, coppers. You're not going to take me alive. I mean, like, I've got a mini nuke. What are you going to do? You're probably going to go in there and shoot him.
Yeah, but if he says, oh, shit, I done screwed up, and puts his hands behind his back and gets arrested,
okay,
now
that's fair,
suddenly we don't have that immediate... so, you know...
Okay, that's fair.
And you know as well as I do, man, with the way the courts work these days, if he they're going to be like, well, he was just, he has PTSD from other town pumps because they didn't have the jalapeno poppers that he wanted. He's actually a really, really good guy.
Yeah.
He deserves
never
probation.
really
He never hurt a fly. This was a one-off. He deserves probation. And the judge is going to be like, well, I think that, yes, probation is a good thing. And for mini nuking town pump, he's going to be on probation. Like, that's...
We are all on a very large list.
Or I could see, like, the lawyer being like, Your Honor, it was just a mini nuke, not a full-size
Yes. No. See, like, that's where I'm like, no, I'm sorry, man. The whole nuke thing?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. Well...
I don't know, man. I feel like the technology exists, and if somebody was really so inclined that they could make it happen.
Yeah, but again, I think you'd need a lot of resources, a lot of manpower, a lot of money. I think you could.
Come on now.
But
I don't think it's as much as you think it is.
You know that if Elon or Bezos or Gates wanted a nuke, they'd have a nuke.
Well, how do you know they don't?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just because, and I never read anywhere, here's the deal. Technically, nukes aren't illegal. They're not.
Oh, no?
They are under dangerous devices.
Yeah, it's a destructive device.
Or, I'm sorry, destructive device, yeah.
Huh.
So technically, nukes aren't illegal.
Huh.
But you have
I wonder
to have...
if you went through that ATF paper. I'm going to form one.
Yeah. I was going to say, so
I'll tell you what, if you have blue helmets that show up, listen, no, real quick. If you have blue helmets that show up to do a nuclear inspection, you let me know.
Yeah,
you let me know. Just shoot me a text.
So, because you can form a hand grenade.
Yes.
Right. A destructive device.
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe you can
And
form one a nuke.
Nuclear bombs are covered under that.
Huh.
Hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow. So we do have access.
I guess we do. I guess in my mind, where I'm going with this is the government's like, here's free nukes. Like I don't,
And yet again, background checks and all of that aren't going to stop anything.
They're not. You're right. But I just, I'm sorry. I think that my moral thing says the collateral damage is just,
Agreed. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
yeah. That's my whole thing.
Okay, but that's the thing is, morally, I completely agree with you. I don't think anybody needs nukes. I don't think anybody deserves that sort of destructive power. However, the problem is that they already exist, and your morality
has to
align with reality.
Right.
And that's fair. I mean, that's fair. Until it becomes, let me just say this.
Until
it becomes an issue for
buy a nuke
until
off the
it becomes an issue for me, I'm gonna be in kind of where I'm at, where it's like I don't think it's a good idea.
I mean, as far as my morality goes,
I think we should just dose the entire water supply with LSD.
I mean, as far as my morality goes, I would say that I would love it if it was completely outlawed and immoral to harm another human being.
No,
it is.
I'm not.
It is immoral, but there are certain situations where it is justified, though, I would say.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think
Because
that bleeds over
it
into
exists.
nukes as
There's
well.
the duality.
Whoa,
of man right
okay,
there.
hold up, stop, real quick. Where would it? Okay, where would using a nuke against somebody else be a justified use of force?
Well, you said earlier that the nukes in World War II were justified.
We're talking about
Ending a war.
ending
right?
a war. Like
Okay,
I mean,
but that
we
is
just
the
asked if
situation.
but what I'm
justified.
saying is that you, me, and Kevin sitting here, I don't foresee a situation where it's like using a nuke would justify like.
No.
Ending a war.
Well, yeah, but ending a war. But
Neither would pulling a pistol and shooting each other.
Yeah.
no, but if somebody started taking pot shots at us
Right.
and we pulled out a pistol, I don't think that.
So if you okay,
So
let's
now,
say you were the president
Right.
and you got
Nations,
you got
First
the
Nations.
call on the red phone saying we have 100 ballistic missiles with nuclear bombs on them headed our way right now. They are going to hit the United States in 20 minutes. All you have to do is hit the button, and we will send nukes to Russia. Would you do it?
Are you sure?
There's
let's-
been
let's
times.
say-
Are you sure?
Let's say yes, and let's say you have in front of you video footage of these rockets, and they say right on them, these are
US
nuclear bombs made for Trump.
right.
From
right.
love with Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or with love from Russia. From Russia with love.
Right.
I
I would
Maybe
say
I,
nuke
you know
them.
what, guys? Maybe I am turning into a quasi liberal because I have a real hard time with that. I do, because
them.
there
so
are
you would doom all of the United States without any retaliation.
no because what would it solve? Like I'm all would I take out the actual government? Absolutely, the ones who actually were behind it. But I just don't think that civilians who had nothing to do.
So here we have the duality of
Yeah.
man, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's always going to be a duality there, and there's always going to be a moral conflict, and there's always going
Right.
to be, you know.
So I know that sounds weird because of World War II, but that was a different time, and we weren't talking about taking out an entire world. You know what I mean? We were talking about taking out two
took
cities,
out two entire
two
cities.
entire cities. Yeah, 100%.
With millions of innocent people.
I know. But as soon as I press that button, that means the entirety of the world is over as we know it.
Okay, so yes. Yeah. But
the second that the button was pushed in the first place, the entirety of the world as we know it is over.
yeah, basically. So
Well,
I mean,
now hold on. Are we talking about atmospheric nukes? Are we talking about air nukes? Are we talking about ground surface nukes?
It would be all of the above, I believe.
It would.
I,
It would.
the first ones would be EMPs.
It wouldn't. It would be. It would definitely. It would depend.
I think the first ones would be EMPs to obliterate the power infrastructure.
Right.
And then the next ones would be, because we have a pretty good defense system,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, and we have these two great bodies of water that are pretty
Right.
good defense too.
Right.
So I really, honestly, truly believe that if it was to happen, it would be way up there.
Yeah. Right. Right. I know. I guess being in law enforcement has taught me that like I'm only really after the people that actually did the crime.
no,
So
and
you
that's,
never,
you
you've
know what
never
I-
had to. All right. Have you ever had to shoot somebody in law enforcement?
No.
Have you ever had to draw your gun on somebody
Yes.
in law enforcement? Right. So that deterrence of drawing your gun led you
Right.
to not having
Right.
So
Right.
that's where I was going.
Okay, yeah.
Is the whole idea between mutual destruction is
Right.
deterrence.
Right.
And so that's the idea of, okay, we agree that we are going to destroy each other if one of us hits the button.
Right. Right.
So that we don't hit the button.
Right.
Right.
So we have that
And you know
gun
what?
pointed at you.
I will say it. I am glad that I'm not. I don't have that decision to make.
And there's
I
crazy
probably
fucking
could.
people out there that want suicide by cop, and I'm real happy that you've never had to do that.
Yeah.
But there's crazy people out there in government that
Right.
are going to be
Right.
in the same state of mind. So
Right.
That's what
Right.
concerns me.
Right.
Right.
No, that's a hard question. That's a hard question.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty firmly in the whole. I want to hold the people that are accountable. and that's as far as it goes.
No, and I would agree with you.
You know,
And I think that is the morally correct thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
100%.
But
I don't think anybody would disagree.
no,
Yeah.
but I just that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, yes, I believe that Americans should
want a
have
safe
everything minus nukes and chemical, nuclear, biological. Like that's out of my realm of even thinking.
We all want a safe world where
Yes.
none of this ever has to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the reality that we live in is that these things happen.
Right.
And who knows when the next, Hiroshima Nagasaki event is going to happen.
Right. Right.
Hopefully never.
Hopefully never, but I really think that it's not if, it's when.
Yeah, unfortunately I agree.
Because people are fucking people.
Yep. Well, and
not another one of them
people
beers, is
people
there?
There is,
want
oh, yeah.
power and
Last
Yeah.
one.
Oh, shoot.
The last one, brother.
Oh, it's for me.
For you. I brought
For
two for each of
you.
us.
All right. Well, I don't know.
This has been a really
This is really went into
Kinda
the
in
weeds.
the
I don't
deep.
know.
discussion.
How do we bring it back?
If you followed this far, then
Well,
thanks.
I think maybe this ought to be the end.
Yes.
Comment below on whatever platform you're listening to this on. What you thought about this?
And
Should private citizens own nukes?
I know we have viewers all over the world too. I have one friend that's in Thailand.
Yes. Yes, she commented.
yeah.
Yeah, like I've known her for a long time. So shout out to Yuna.
Hey, if you think I'm a bleeding heart liberal, by all means, go ahead and comment that too. I am.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, these thoughts from these different perspectives.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we are here. I think
Yeah.
we're pretty safe where we are, even if there was some type of nuclear exchange, or otherwise.
Oh, God, I hope-
even with COVID.
I hope
There-
you
that
guys
we're
give me
pretty
the
safe.
opportunity to do
There's-
this nuke thing.
There's one situation where we would not be safe, or potentially not be
The
safe.
super volcano underneath.
We would still be safe.
We would.
We have this great
No,
thing.
no,
It's called the Great Divide.
I meant with a nuke. If they nuked Spokane
We would be safe.
with
We would
a
be safe.
ground burst.
We would be safe.
No,
We would
I
be
thought
safe.
the
No.
wind blows this
No,
way.
I'm
Nope.
telling you, we would be
We-
safe.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right,
it's
all right.
totally separate. Okay.
Wait. No, you're right. We definitely wouldn't be safe. Not even a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bit. No.
Yeah.
No. We're totally effed if Spokane gets a ground nuke.
I trust my government. I love my government.
Yes.
I put all my faith in
All of us love our dogs. We love our government.
Mhm.
Yay, government.
Hooray.
We would never kill ourselves.
I don't have any
No.
dogs, so
I don't have any guns. I don't know why we
Quiet
keep
down.
bringing. I don't know why we keep bringing guns into the whole
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, that boating accident that we
Yeah.
all got into.
Oh yeah, that was a terrible boating
It was.
accident
Terrible.
that we were all involved in.
Yes, all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Thanks to David Thompson, Search and Rescue.
Yeah. All right, well,
Thanks
comment-
for watching, guys.
yeah, comment below and thanks for watching.
Remember, only you can defeat communism.
Only you.